Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, salut, hola, konnichiwa, ciao, someone from Italy. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from in the chat. I am in Chile, South America. Where are you from? Where are you tuning in? No one wants, oh, UK, Canada, okay, Scotland, Mexico, yes, Toronto, United States, okay, UK again. Oh, it is late in UK. It's like 8 p.m. That's not bad. Spain. Okay, welcome everyone. Happy to have you in this second session on this amazing event that we put together for you guys to really show you how magic this um, technique is and how transformational can be not only for your clients, also for your own life. And today is I'm still letting people in. I have the pleasure today. Kyle, can you please press your hand icon so I can find you? I have the pleasure today. Oh, there you go. I saw you already. I have the pleasure today to introduce one of the most iconic, epic, incredible master transformational coach in SOMA. And back in 2020, in the middle of pandemic, I was navigating the course. And one day they had this session about ecstatic dance. And I said, like, what is that? What do you mean with ecstatic dance and breathwork? And it was guided with this amazing instructor, Kyle. And I was one of my favorite moments in SOMA Breath was when I found out how amazing it is to move your body and breathe at the same time. It's just crazy. And also, Kyle is the person behind the live practice calls. You were talking in the first session with Niraj that in this course, it's not only the content, the online content, and the amazing, science that you will learn. It's also about community, and we have several instructors supporting the people who are navigating the course. And I think that is very special for any program to become an instructor. And Kyle is the one who is behind every single Monday with a lot of patience, every single Monday, having these Zoom calls with all the people who are navigating the course, with the students all over the world, to have 2 hours to, talk about the struggles, any difficulties that you may have in the course, any technology struggles. So he is the person who will be with you if you choose to become an instructor. And also I have to say that one of the most amazing, incredible, fun part of becoming an instructor is that I felt a DJ sometimes when I'm preparing some breathwork music for my sessions and I'm mixing the music that I learned from this amazing person from Kyle, how you can use, technology and mix music and your voiceover and you create these magic moments with breathwork. So say no more. Please welcome Kyle. Please
Thank
introduce
you.
yourself.
Thank you, Claudia, for that beautiful introduction. Aho, namaste, and shalom. Welcome, Soma Tribe. It is an honor to be here with you all. Yeah, where do I begin? I guess I'm calling from Asheville, North Carolina, and I saw someone had posted somewhere. Someone's calling from Baltimore. That's actually my hometown where I grew up. So shout out to whoever is in Baltimore right now. I went to school in Towson, so good to see everybody. So yeah, thank you. Soma has completely changed my life. It was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I always knew that I didn't want to just be another cog in the wheel, and didn't want to just do the same old thing that everyone is doing, the whole 9 to 5, old outdated mode of being in this society. And I knew that from a very young age. I was definitely more of a rebel in my younger years, and had a number of interesting transformative experiences pretty early on in my life. And it wasn't until about the time that, I mean, around high school, actually, the end of high school is when I really started getting deep into meditation and yoga. And it was the Wim Hof method that really opened me up to the power of breath work. And I feel like a lot of us find Wim Hof, he's definitely this kind of very vocal, and at this point in the mainstream person who's kind of bringing breath work to the fore. Luckily, that's been changing, especially since SOMA Breath has come on here. And it was the power of the Wim Hof method that really tuned me into this incredible breath work. And I really wanted to become a breathwork instructor at the time. It was something I was very passionate about, and I knew I was going to be teaching breathwork somehow. That training was just a little bit too expensive at the time. I was just out of college, and I just didn't know how I would make it work. And I was really starting to get into the concept of manifestation and visualization. And that's when Soma Breath really kind of appeared. It was very synchronistic. Because when I found Soma Breath and what Niraj was doing, it was almost as if he had combined everything that I'd been passionate about. I've been a music producer ever since high school, and I've been, trying to figure out how I can, mesh all of my hobbies and my passions into something that will be a career path. And Summer Breath just kind of just came on, and boom, right there. It was all in one package, and immediately jumped on board. I was a part of the first instructor training that was online. The very first one was in person, but the first one that was online, I signed up for that. The 21-day awakening journey was the beginning of that process, and it's where I laid the seeds that would eventually grow and sprout to where I am here today. And I just went in 100%, knew that this was my path. And then from there, just kind of went along with the training as it kind of progressed. Since when Soma Breath first came out, it wasn't this incredible package deal. It was a little bit more simple. It was more of just like the kind of level one that we have at the moment. And even then, it was a lot less content that we have. But still, I saw how Soma Breath began to grow, and I was there throughout the entire thing. And I had reached out, letting Niraj know that I would love to help out, and they brought me on board as part of the team. And since then, I've kind of gone through different iterations, and now as one of their master mentors, transformational coaches, I help others go through this process as well. And as Claudia was saying, I help guide the online training sessions on Monday. I also guide the 21-day awakening journey myself. So it's an honor to be here. It's just been incredible. Before Soma Breath, I was definitely more of a quiet person. I was more introverted, very rarely would ever go out. I was very devoted into my practice and in meditation, yoga, alchemy, all of that. And so Soma Breath helped me to really break me out of my shell, got me into places that I never expected myself to explore. And I never thought I'd be a DJ, never thought I'd be on stage or guiding these incredible ceremonies and sessions. And it took a lot of work and training to get beyond some of those limiting beliefs and doubts that I'd been conditioned with over time, especially throughout high school. High school was a very interesting and difficult time for me, just feeling like I just couldn't fit in anywhere. And I've always kind of felt like an outsider in most of the communities that I've been in. But in Soma Breath, I feel like these are my people, and it's an honor to actually find your tribe. And it's amazing what that does when you actually find the community that you love, and people love you and support you. And there's no better feeling finding like your home. And it's just really great to be here. And I think I'll just talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing here today. So in general, we have many different techniques in Soma Breath, and that's kind of the beautiful thing about what we offer. We have a variety of different approaches to breath work. And what we mainly practice is what we call the Soma Awakening technique. And that basically consists of these three phases. We have rhythmical breathing, breath retention out on the exhale, and then the breath retention on the inhale. And this is kind of similar to like what Wim Hof teaches, but there's some subtle differences that make a huge difference in the actual technique. So we focus a lot on rhythmical breathing. And, some breathwork modalities out there, conscious connected breathing, rebirthing, they're all great. But what's different about Soma is we incorporate this music, this perfect rhythm that we allow ourselves to synchronize to. Not many other, there's plenty of other modalities that use music, but not that really focus on the specific rhythmical breathing that we like to. And we use many different rhythms in SOMA Breath because it depends on what we're looking for. So, for instance, whenever we breathe in a perfect rhythm, when we inhale the same amount of counts as we exhale, we're creating this harmony between the both sides of the nervous system. If we think about the inhale and the exhale as kind of like the yin and the yang, or technically the yang and the yin of our body, well, we also have this other binary aspect in our nervous system. We have this sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So when we start to breathe in this perfect rhythm, both of these nervous systems start to come into balance and harmony. And in yoga, we have this concept of these two channels, the Ida and Pingala. And when we marry these two channels, when we start to harmonize and balance them, that awakens what's called the central channel, the Sushumna. So you can look at this process in many different lenses, the scientific or the more spiritual and mystical approach. But this balance of opposites or polarities is a key part of most all traditions of cultivation, of energy work, of yoga, and spirituality in general. And it's no different here in SOMA Breath. So when we breathe in this perfect rhythm, we start to wake up this core channel, which is sort of the core of our being, our true self. But we also have other rhythms as well. So we can modulate our nervous system and we can take control of our nervous system based off of what rhythms that we use. So another common one that we like to use in SOMA Breath is an extended exhale. So either a 2-4 rhythm, meaning that we breathe in for a count of 2 and we exhale for a count of 4. We also use a 4-8, which is basically the same thing, just a longer period of time that we're breathing. And whenever we exhale longer than we inhale, what we're doing is we're actually focusing more on the parasympathetic side of the nervous system. And so a lot of times, a lot of people suffer from an overactive, an overstimulated nervous system, meaning that we're kind of caught in this fiery, this sympathetic mode. And this causes many problems. It causes over-breathing or erratic breathing, causes a lot of overthinking, a lot of anxiety, sometimes inflammation, a lot of inflammation actually, if we're just always caught up in that fight or flight mode. So what's really needed in general as a whole is actually to mitigate this overactive sympathetic nervous system. And so the way that we address that in SOMA Breath is focusing on this extended exhale to help balance that out. So whenever you're like feeling like you just need to relax, you can always just focus on extending your exhale to get into a very deep state of relaxation, help activate that parasympathetic response, which is needed for rest, digest, and healing. So that's kind of like those are two different rhythms that we use. We also use kind of a faster rhythm. So even if we have an even rhythm, if we increase the pace of the breath, so if we move from like say a 4-4 rhythm, which is sort of a general balancing type of rhythm, into a 2-2, meaning we're breathing at a faster rate, or even like a 1-1, we start to enter what we call the Kevala technique. And the Kevala technique is what allows us to really get into those altered states of consciousness, allows us to really expand our awareness and really build up the bliss. And so this is often what we see in like holotropic breathing or the conscious connected rebirthing or shamanic type breath work. But the way that we do it in SOMA Breath is much more structured, much more sustainable, and easier on the body and the nervous system. And so we're actually going to get a little taste of that Kevala today. The ones that we're going to focus on, I'm going to be guiding us through this session, and we'll be focusing on the 4-4 rhythms for the most part. And at the very end, we're going to be moving into a 2-2 and even into a 1-1, into a very fast rhythm to get us into that Kevala state, where ultimately what we're trying to do is move. What Kevala is the breathless state. Kevala Kumbhaka is sort of the highest state that we can get in through pranayama. And it means that we've basically charged up our body and our nervous system with so much of this prana, this life force energy, that we really don't need to take any external breaths anymore. There's just an internal subtle energy movement throughout the body. And ultimately, when we build up into this state where we enter into this blissful neurosomatic samadhi. And samadhi, if for those who aren't familiar, is sort of the peak state of the yogic ladder that we're trying to build up to. And so ultimately, that's what we're going to try to be doing here today. It takes years of practice to really harness the power of samadhi and stay there. But hopefully today you'll get a little glimpse of it. So one other little key piece of science that we're going to be focusing on, because we do nasal breathing in SOMA, this is again something that's a little bit different than other modalities. A lot of conscious connected breathing, even the Wim Hof method and shamanic type breath work, they use mouth breathing for the most part. We like to focus on nasal breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, because the nasal breathing helps to boost our nitric oxide. That nitric oxide is a vasodilator. It expands our blood vessels. It's also got tons of other health benefits. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial. I'm not going to go into all of them, but I think someone just made a comment about the nitric oxide. It's a huge magic molecule and a huge part of what we do in SOMA Breath. And again, it's a little bit different than some of the other modalities. So we have that added benefit of that nitric oxide production. The nasal breathing also helps to filter out the air, and it helps us to kind of control the amount of air that's coming in at once. So when we're breathing, we want to be breathing in through the diaphragm. We want to be engaging the diaphragm. Whenever we breathe in, air flows into our lungs, and then the lungs expand, the diaphragm expands down and out like a balloon. And then whenever we exhale, that diaphragm kind of tucks back up and in. And so this expansion and contraction of the diaphragm is something that we want to be making sure that we are engaging. Like I said, a lot of times if we're stuck in that sympathetic nervous system, we tend to have a shallow or erratic breath pattern. And so whenever we're able to really deeply breathe into those lower areas of the lungs, that's where the parasympathetic nervous system receptors are. And so throughout this entire process, we want to be trying to do our best to really push down and out as we breathe. Someone just mentioned Mula Bandha. Yes, so this is actually another little key or a little piece that you can bring into the rhythmical breathing. So as we're breathing rhythmically to the music, you can accentuate the process by pulling up the pelvic floor muscles. And these are the muscles that you would use to hold in your bladder if you really had to go. It's also called a Kegel exercise. You want to be pulling up on the perineum, and you can do that either in the middle of the breath or at the top is what we find is kind of the best way to incorporate this energy lock into the rhythmical breathing, because we're breathing with the diaphragm, so we're pushing down and out, but then we also want to do this kind of opposing action where we're pulling up on the pelvic floor. And so sometimes it's hard to do those simultaneously. And the way to get around that is you start on pushing down on the diaphragm first, and then you start to pull up on the pelvic floor second. That will help to kind of create this wave and this sort of undulation of energy that flows up the spine with every breath. And then you release the lock on the exhale. And so we're going to, again, be doing diaphragmatic breathing. So one way to help this process is by placing one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. And just taking a moment to just take a natural breath in and just notice which one of those hands rises first as you breathe. If you notice that the top hand is rising first on the chest, that's usually an indication that the breath is a little bit shallow. So let's just try to deepen the breaths and try to make the bottom hand on your belly rise first. Make that move first. There might be a little bit of movement in the chest because obviously our lungs are in our chest, but the majority of the movement should be coming from the bottom hand first. And if it helps throughout the process, you can keep your hands on your belly to help make sure that you're breathing deep into the belly. It's up to you though. You can do this sitting up or lying down. I like to lie down through these experiences because it allows me to go a little bit deeper. And we're going to be doing some guided visualization. And sometimes it's a little bit easier to visualize when you're kind of lying down in a more relaxed state. So phase 1, rhythmical breathing. We're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to be using a 4/4 rhythm in the beginning. We're going to be, when we move to the Kevla technique at the very end, that will be the only time where it's okay to breathe in through the mouth. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with a fast pace when we're breathing in through the nose. So only at the very end with the Kevla is it okay to do the mouth breathing. And again, maybe pulling up on the pelvic floor if that helps. And you can also exhale with a tone or a sigh. Because that tone and that sigh will help to kind of discharge some of that energy that's building up. It's also just a little bit easier to help to relax as you're going through this process. So rhythmical breathing into the nose, out the mouth. We then move into the breath retention out on the exhale. And the reason that we do this is because we're trying to stimulate what's called intermittent hypoxic training. So intermittent hypoxia is basically just a fancy scientific term for brief periods of low oxygen. And this sounds kind of counterintuitive, like why would we want to lower our oxygen levels, right? But this is actually where a lot of the health benefits come from the practice. Whenever we bring our body into a state of low oxygen, we're mimicking this kind of high altitude training. We're training the body to operate at lower levels of oxygen, which makes our body more efficient at utilizing oxygen that we have. And so this means that every breath that we do breathe is going to be utilized most efficiently. Oftentimes, we don't have enough carbon dioxide built up in our blood, especially if we're just doing that conscious connected breathing, that shamanic breathing. We're actually breathing out all of our carbon dioxide. And we think that's like oxygenating our body, but this actually isn't true. And the reason is because of this little interesting formula called the Bohr effect. And so the Bohr effect is what says that basically we need a certain amount of carbon dioxide to assimilate oxygen into our body. What does this mean? That means that carbon dioxide is almost like this lock that unlocks, this key that unlocks the oxygen so that we can use it. If we don't have enough carbon dioxide in our body and in our blood, then the oxygen that we're going to be breathing in, it's just going to stick to the hemoglobin and the red blood cells, and it's not going to be offloading into the tissue cells and the organs where we actually really need to nourish our body. So it's almost like that oxygen gets stuck, right? And then we just breathe it right back out. And so that's not really a good thing. Excuse me. It's not a good thing in the long run. It's really, it could be useful for a very cathartic experience as like a one-off type of experience, but something that we want to do every day and something that's sustainable, we want to actually be building up carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide tolerance. And as we build up this carbon dioxide tolerance by holding our breath and learning how to remain calm in that low oxygen state, what we're doing is we're training our body to withstand more and more carbon dioxide, because it's actually the levels of CO2, the carbon dioxide, that triggers our need to breathe. It's not a lack of oxygen. So throughout this process, what we're doing is we're learning how to remain longer and longer in this state of hypoxia, because there's also a couple of other benefits that come from this. One of them being that whenever we are in a low oxygen state, we are able to wake up our stem cells. So stem cells are those proto cells in our body that can then turn into any other cell. So if, like, for instance, you are having liver issues, you can use stem cells to turn those into liver cells to help heal your liver. But most of these stem cell therapies nowadays, they'll either like go deep into the bone marrow or do some other expensive process to kind of get those stem cells circulating in your body. But we can do this naturally just by holding our breath, just by going to this state of hypoxia. And so this is why this method is so beautiful, because we're actually really able to wake up the stem cells, the healing response that's naturally embedded in our physiology. So the other thing that we can do is, if we go deep into this state of hypoxia, we start to wake up our own endogenous psychedelic chemistry, our own endogenous entheogen. There's this molecule known as DMT, dimethyltryptamine, which is one of the ingredients in ayahuasca. If anyone's familiar with the plant medicine ayahuasca, there's sort of usually two plants that go into this plant medicine. There's the MAOI and then the DMT. The MAOI is what allows the DMT to become orally active, but it's the DMT that brings you the psychedelic visions and the altered states of consciousness. And it's actually been shown that we have DMT in our body. It's actually found in all living beings. And it's why this is called the spirit molecule. And whenever we go into these deep states of hypoxia, there's scientific research that shows that hypoxia triggers our natural release of DMT. And so it's almost like we're going through this mini near-death experience, this death and rebirth, but in a way that's safe and contained, in a way that's sustainable. So when we put this all together, we have this incredible concoction, this incredible sequence. We have this rhythmical breathing that is creating, this coherence within our body, this balance of the nervous system, the nitric oxide. Then we move into that breath retention where we hold the breath. We're able to go into the states of hypoxia. We release these stem cells and we release this endogenous DMT that allows us, the soul, to momentarily be released from the confines of the body and expand into these altered states of consciousness. And we can enter into these states of samadhi, this neurosomatic bliss. And I know I'm going through a lot. I'm just kind of giving you just like this like scientific download here of like why we do what we do. But it's really cool to know what's going on beneath the surface as we're doing this, because it helps you understand how this is working and how powerful this sequence is. So just to reiterate, we have rhythmical breathing, we have the breath retention out on the exhale, and then we're going to hold the breath on the top of the inhale at the very end. So then once we've held our breath with no air, we can take a couple of booster breaths. So if you need to hold your breath longer, if you want to go deeper into this state of hypoxia, you can take what's called like a little booster breath. That's going to be just a quick sip of air in and back out. That'll allow you to go deeper into that state of hypoxia. And you want to use your intuition, feel into this. If you feel like you can hold your breath longer, then go for it. If you feel like you need to take more of those booster breaths, that's fine. Take a couple of more if you need it. But you want to be listening for my cue when I give you the cue for the final breath retention on the inhale. And that's when we're going to be breathing in together, in through the nose. We're going to be holding on the top of the inhale this time. You can pull up the pelvic floor if you want to bring that energy up the spine into the midbrain. This is when we reoxygenate the body and we feel this rush of energy. And we're going to look upwards and inwards towards the midpoint of the eyebrows, awakening that third eye and just witnessing the light. You might see this expansive white light. You might see colors. And you want to hold for about 15, 30 seconds or however long is comfortable for you. And whenever you need to release, you'll let it go with another tone. And that will allow you to come back into your body and come back into your normal breathing. So just a few things. The rhythmical breathing aspect of Soma is safe for everyone. However, there are a few contraindications for the breath holds. And it's whenever we get into the last rhythm, when we do that Kevala, faster paced breathing, the contraindications are also applied here. So if you have any severe critical diseases or infections, especially if it impairs your ability to breathe, if you have any epilepsy, if you have any heart issues such as a pacemaker or a heart arrhythmia, if you are pregnant, please do not be holding your breath and please don't be participating in the final round. During those times, you can just naturally breathe. You can just let your body breathe and just meditate and just feel the energy that you've been building. But the rhythmical breathing, of course, is going to be safe for everybody. So feel free to always breathe in a rhythm. Just a couple other things. If you're going to be taking this experience beyond today beyond what we're doing here, please do not practice in water or if you're driving. Those are very dangerous places to be practicing this type of intense breath work. So we want to make sure that we're always safe. And if you are in a chair, I highly recommend lying down for this experience, because we're going to be going deep. And sometimes if we're sitting upright when we go deep, there's a chance that we can pass out or lose our awareness. It's not common, but it is possible. So we just want to make sure we're totally safe, which is why I recommend lying down if you can. And so I know that was a lot. I will be guiding you through the entire session, entire process, if you don't remember any of the details. But today we're going to be focusing on shamanic alchemy. I'm very much into alchemy on many different levels. My brand, what I teach, is called SOMA Alchemy. And so we're going to be bringing shamanic alchemy into our intention here today, focusing on the tree of life as we traverse this tree of life, what they call the axis mundi. And the shamans traditionally used to use this as their way of journeying into the spirit world, into the shamanic, into the astral realms. And so, I would just give you a moment to kind of make yourself comfortable. And I'm going to switch on some music. And we're going to dive into this incredible journey together. If you have an eye mask or a blindfold or something like that, that's also sometimes useful. All right. So I just want you to relax your body. Releasing any tensions from the day. Start to gaze out into the darkness behind your closed eyes. As you're looking out into the darkness of your closed eyes, you're just going to imagine that you're in this cave. In this dark and damp cave. Wandering. Feeling your way through this cave. You can't see anything quite yet, but you can feel the rocks. As you're making your way through this cave. As you're making your way through the cave, you can hear in the distance a waterfall up ahead. You start to see in the light the entrance of the cave. As you walk towards the entrance, you're going to feel yourself move through the waterfall, feeling the cold water on your skin. And as you pass through the waterfall on the other side, you find yourself in this inner oasis of your astral imagination. As you begin to step down from the entrance of the cave into this inner oasis, feeling the rocks and the grass below your feet, feeling the warm sunshine, the sun, the symbol of your higher self, shining down on you. You begin to smile in this light, knowing that throughout this entire experience, if you ever get worried, if you're ever in doubt, you can always smile and remember the light of your higher self is guiding and protecting you. As you feel the warmth, making your way through this inner oasis, this sort of opening in the giant forest, you begin to walk towards the forest with this giant tree on the edge, the biggest tree that you've ever seen. You know this to be the tree of life, the Axis Mundi. And you begin to enter into this tree of life. And as you enter into the hollow tree, this golden column in the center, 2 staircases on either side, one descending on the left, one ascending on the right. You begin to descend down the spiral staircase on the left, making your way down into the depths of the lower realms, the underworld. You see, feel each and every step, getting more and more relaxed as you begin to descend. Going deeper and deeper. Descend down until you finally get to the bottom of the staircase and you find yourself in the underworld. And as you enter into the underworld, you immediately find yourself transforming into an animal. Whatever animal first comes to mind, don't question it, just honor it. You feel your body change its shape, morphing into this animal. Take note of what animal you have become and begin to wander through the dark underworld. This is the realm of our shadows, our unconscious, those repressed desires, worries, doubts, fears, anger. As you're wandering through the underworld, allow those shadows to begin to bubble up. Those behaviors that we often repress in an effort to remain civilized. The sexual feelings, the lust, intense anger, whatever is hiding beneath the shadows. Be brave, be courageous to face them head on, to own them. Remembering that you are safe and protected on this journey as we are moving together. Start to feel those repressed desires, those fears, whatever feelings that you often repress. Feel it in the body. Notice where in the body they lie. You might feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. Invite the discomfort for transmutation as we get ready for the breath work. I'm going to exhale to begin. As we begin to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, breathing in through the nose, 2, 3, 4, and out through the mouth. Feel your animal self. 2, 3, 4. Wandering through the underworld. In all of these other creatures, animals, shadows. In 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Allow your body to move however it wants to move. 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Pulling up on the pelvic floor, transmuting the lust, that sexual energy. Honoring your animal self. 2, 3, 4. Maybe releasing with a growl, some animal noise. 2, 3, 4. Move that animal energy. 3, 4. Notice what images appear as you breathe. What feelings arise. 2, 3, 4. Stay with the breath. In 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. In 2. The hunger, 3, 4. 2. That need for comfort. In that push towards pleasure. 4. The aversion to pain, deeply rooted in the animal self, in the animal body. 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Allow those energies 2, 3 to express themselves, to transmute. Feel the animal body dance. honoring the sexual energy of our animal body. Honoring the hunger. Honoring all of those feelings that we deem uncivilized, inappropriate. One last breath here, fully in. And then fully out. Exhaling completely and letting go. Dissolving your animal self. Dissolving it into the spirit, into the ether, that space in between, the 0 point. Totally surrender into this dissolution, relaxing. As you release the animal self, dissolving, you might feel an urge to breathe. Whenever that urge emerges for you, take a moment to relax into the discomfort and then take a little booster breath. And exhale it back out, back into the spirit, into the ether. And on this next urge, try to push past the comfort zone a little bit. And when you need to, you're going to take a deep rebirthing breath in, fully in. And hold, and squeeze, pulling up on the pelvic floor. Feeling your connection to the earth, the plants and the stones, connected to all of animal life. We are one with all of the plants and animals. And when you need to release, let it go with a tone or a sigh. And take a moment to return back to normal breathing. As you find yourself reborn back inside of the tree of life, inside of that hollow tree. Golden column of light in the center. 2 spiral staircases on either side. 1 descending on the left, 1 ascending on the right. Notice on the other side, where you're standing, on the other side of the golden column of light, there's a doorway. As you make your way towards that doorway, recognizing that you're about to enter into the middle realm, the human level. open that door, walking through and finding yourself in a vast forest. And you know that this forest, this middle realm, is the place where the ancestors dwell. You might even see an ancestor waiting for you on the other side, ready to guide you through. Perhaps an ancestor has a message for you. Be open to receive a message. Maybe there is more than one ancestor. Perhaps all of your ancestors are there greeting you. And even if you can't see them, even if you can't sense them, know that as you enter into this middle realm, that they are there, ready to support you. As you feel this support, tune back into the heart, as this middle realm is where our human emotions are processed. As we get ready to wander through the forest together, we're going to exhale. As we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. And as we breathe, we allow the emotions to flow. As we breathe, we begin to release those heavy emotions, those challenges that we're facing in our life. The challenges that come from being a human on this planet. The struggles, the frustrations that we deal with. All of the bills, the deadlines, the traffic, the taxes, the technology. We honor these challenges. Playing with this idea that perhaps we agreed take on these challenges in this human life. And as we breathe through the suffering, we also remember that life is also full of love and joy. Feel and honor the connection all of the other humans, connection to our community. And as we breathe this breath, we recognize that this is what we share with all humans, with all of life, this breath. And as you breathe, I want you to feel the connection with every other human that has come before. Every human that has taken incarnation onto this planet. Feeling that power. That you are part of a lineage. And that we are here together doing the work. Making this world a better place for the humans to come. And allow that emotion to flow. Get ready. One last breath here, fully in. And fully out. Exhaling completely and dissolving your human self. Dissolving into the spirit, into the ether. A 0 point in between. Dissolving the emotions. Relaxing, observing as that urge to breathe begins to build, overriding when you need to. Going even deeper into the spirit, into the ether. You are amazing. You got this. Holding past the comfort zone until it becomes absolutely too much, and whenever you need to, you're going to take a deep rebirthing breath, fully in. Hold and squeeze, pulling up the pelvic floor. Feeling the heart radiating, feeling your connection with all of human life, all the humans and the ancestors that have come before us, all the humans that have yet to be born. Smile to this connection. And then whenever you need to, release with a tone or a sigh. You can take another breath in and another tone. And return to normal breathing as you find yourself reborn back into the tree of life. Golden column of light in the center. Spiral staircase descending on the left and ascending on the right, and you know where we are going next as you begin to climb the ascending spiral staircase on the right. Begin to climb higher and higher. Stay with me here. Continue to climb. At the very top of the staircase, you find a doorway that leads out onto this giant branch the tree of life. As you step out onto this branch, looking above out into the cosmos, where you find an angelic guide ready to take your hand, to take you higher. And as you take their hand, you feel your astral body ascend. As you move out into the cosmos, we're going to get ready for a faster breathing rhythm here. Exhaling. As we breathe in, out, in, and out, in, and out, in, and out, in, and out. Feel yourself soaring out into the cosmos. Stay with this rhythm. Expand. Release all sense of self. Releasing all of the shackles binding you to this world as you climb higher. Feels like you're returning home. As you play with this idea that perhaps you are not of this world. Flying through the cosmos. into the heavens. Into the realms of pure light, pure consciousness, pure energy. Rising above the human thoughts, the human emotions. Rising above all of the problems, all of the worries, the doubts, the fears of the world, letting them all let them go behind. As you ascend into pure bliss, pure ecstasy. Allow the breath to become subtle, but stay with the rhythm. Very subtle. We're going to get ready to break on through to the other side. To take it to the next level. You can switch to mouth breathing as we get ready. Faster. In, out, out, in, out. That's right. Ascend. Deeper. Yes. That's right, this is it. One last breath all the way in. Fully in and hold and squeeze on the top of the inhale. sing. Completely dissolving to pure light, pure bliss, pure ecstasy, pure oneness with the entire cosmos. As we are one, every speck of stardust, every star, every planet, every molecule, every cell, every plant, animal, and insect, every human, every form of life. We are one with all of the masters that have come before, that will ever come. Every level of life, every level of being. Just dissolve into this oneness. Take our final rebirthing breath. 3, 2, 1. Fully in. Hold and squeeze. Witnessing the light. As we release with the Om, the sound of the cosmos, the sound of God. are whole, perfect, strong, loving, harmonious, happy, and healthy. We are whole, perfect, strong, loving, harmonious, happy, and healthy. We are whole, perfect, strong, loving, harmonious, happy, and healthy. We have everything that we need already inside the very core of our being. We can heal. We can overcome any challenge. We can manifest our dreams. And we can change the world. We are SOMA, one body, one breath, one mind, one consciousness. You can remain in this blissful afterglow as long as you want, as long as you can. And anchor this experience into a smile, putting a small smile on the face, the Buddha grin, so that every time you smile to yourself, you remember this connection, this oneness, this experience. And that every time you smile out into the world, smile out to all the others in your community, you're radiating this gnosis, this oneness, this bliss, this love. Slowly coming back into the body as we come back into our waking life. With much honor and great respect, I just wanted to thank you for allowing me to be your guide on this journey. Thank you for breathing with me. Thank you for taking the time for your growth, your inner work, your inner alchemy. I know sometimes after an experience like this, there are no words, but if you would like to leave your feedback, or if you'd like to unmute yourself, let us know how that was for you. Feel free. I'll just do a little bit
Thank
of
you, Kyle.
closing.
Ah, that was
Mm.
amazing. If any one of you wants to speak, please click in the hand icon so I can see you and I can give you access to speak to Kyle. Even that I haven't done the whole thing because I can't, because if I do the breath work, I can be like not even able to come back to the room. That was incredible. This is what I'm talking about, the magic of being a SOMA Breath instructor. And of course, this takes time and training and, you know, Kyle has been doing this for a while, but he's getting better and better all the time. So we have Eric. Hi, Eric. Let me give you. Okay, now I think that you can unmute.
Yeah, Kyle, everybody, right? Just like to be a part of this community is such an amazing opportunity. Um, but that session in particular, I'm not a rave dance beat electronica. I'm a my my Instagram is be more shamanic, right? Moving more towards this depth of connecting to the natural world through this breath. I've been doing breath work for 5 years, started with Wim Hof Soma, um, incorporating this is what I've been looking for to be able to connect this with this training. I didn't get recently was fired from a job that I've had for 5 years and a trade that I've been a part of for 33 years. And it's been an opportunity to go into personal retreat and reset. And I've just been reset. I've just been reborn and I am ready. I just really just soulfully grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
that,
you.
my brother. And it's an honor to be able to help this process and facilitate this. And it can be tough when we feel like the next steps are a little bit unsure, or maybe like it's a little bit hard to kind of fully release the past and really step into that new life.
Yeah.
But I find that this type of work is what allows us to really to do that. And if we have that kind of intention, it's possible. And I'm just so glad that you're now ready for that next step in your journey. I'm glad to be
Yes.
here with
Yeah,
you.
brother.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. So there's people saying that I had my hands on my belly and heart, and there was this electric energy all around them. Thank you so much. I feel so powerful. Wow, mind blowing. Thank you so much. Amazing, Kyle. Thank you. Hearts. It is difficult to speak. Yes. Kyle, you're amazing. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. So beautiful. Huge gratitude. Someone here. Amazing. You're amazing. Disrespect, love, and blessing. So many beautiful comments in chat for you, Kyle. That was incredible. And the music is just perfect for this beautiful journey. It was a beautiful journey. I have to, okay, bye. Yes, bye, Elizabeth. Okay, so let's hear a little bit our beautiful Gina. She's always with us every Sunday, and I know that she loves to, say something. So, okay, Gina, this is your moment.
Hi, Diana.
Thank you. Thank you, man. You're good.
Love to Dina.
Love, Diana. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for being always with us, Dina. We love
Love
you
you too,
too.
Diana.
We love you too. Thank you.
So much love, and we love your support and your
Yes.
dedication. You're doing
Okay,
great work,
anyone
Diana.
else want to say something before we go on this first day of events? So many hearts in the chat, Kyle, for you. And yeah, blowing. It is blowing. You have
So
to
much
raise your
love.
icon
Thank you.
hands to see if you want to talk because I cannot see everyone. So you have an icon where you can react, and I will see the hands up, and then I can see you. Okay, yeah, we have Tracy. Tracy, please. Hello, welcome. You can unmute now. You have to unmute.
Hey, good day.
Good day.
Welcome, everyone. Good day, world. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, that's so wonderful. Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. This day is a very unique and precious day in this time in the world. It is not by chance that we are here. We've all been guided here to this place and this moment in time so that we can embrace the opportunity to promote a healthy, sustainable growth and change in our developmental thought processes. To transcend time and space. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. We are all a part of a whole as a collective, and we are inclined to just through the breath work and so many other things that are instrumental. And we all play a part, and I'm just so grateful just to be here. I'm honored. I am so thankful for you. I'm thinking of you. I adore you, and I'm thankful for you. And thanks for having me.
Thank you,
Oh, well
Tracy.
said.
Thank you for all your love. We
You're
love you too.
welcome. Oh yes, I adore you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God
Thank
bless you as well.
you. Let's hear Desiree. Hi.
Hello. Thank you, Kyle. That was beautiful. And I want to thank you too, Claudia, for being the MC. It was a beautiful journey, and I'm not new to breath work. The music was really good. And I do have a question. So,
Sure.
the music, I couldn't see because obviously I'm in this beautiful meditative state. Were you doing the breathing, or is the breathing embedded in the music, like the 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, so the breathing sounds and the count are embedded in the music. Now, I was breathing along with it as well sometimes, so you were hearing my actual breath, but the
Here.
breathing sounds are always in the background for you to find that rhythm.
And that's on every music that all the music you have.
Yeah, that's like our Soma signature style music where we have the counting and the breathing sounds within it. So there's no question on like where we're at. Like if we're exhaling or inhaling, it's all in the music.
I love that because so many times in breath work you get lost. Like, oh, am I supposed to be breathing through my mouth? Am I supposed to be? You really do if you're in this in and out stage, you do get lost. Anyway, thank you. It was wonderful. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you're not
Thank you,
alone. And
Desiree.
yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, I want to say that also we have, when you become a big member and you will be able to, as an instructor, you will be able to have the music library that Kai is also in charge of. You will have the rhythmical breathing in a female voice and a male voice as well, especially for women or people who are going to be trainers on women's circles, for example, that they just want to feel a women counting over the music. You will have the chance as well. But if you become an advanced instructor, and this is the fun part, at least what for me, because I had to translate from the beginning because I speak in Spanish, you will be able to learn how to put your voiceover. So that is fun because then it's going to be your own counting over the music, your own breathing sounds as well. And you will have all that techniques and opportunities to learn how to do that. So yeah. We have Susie. Okay, let's have this one before we go. Susie, she's an
Hello,
instructor, by
team.
the way.
I hope you're both doing well. I just want the community to know that I'm actually a level one instructor, and I thought it would be very important that I would say a few words on this amazing experience that I've had with this community, both with Kyle and Claudia, just two of many, many people. And SOMA Breath came into my life from an unfortunate injury that I endured over a year ago, and still am dealing with the remnants of it. Without it, I don't know, sometimes things just align, and it came into my life at a very fragile time in my life. And without it, I wouldn't probably be as far as I am in my recovery today. And now I've become part of the community because it's become such a amazing group of people. I just want everyone to know that you're not just part of something like just a course, you're part of a family and a big community on so many levels. You're part of a WhatsApp group that's constantly chiming, like constant. I can't tell you, no matter what question you have, Kyle is there, Claudia is there, and many more. Everyone is there to help you through the program, and so you never feel like you're alone ever. And I just really feel like I needed to add that to this because it's important, because sometimes we may sign up for things and we think, okay, now what? But as soon as I really indulged, I was just embraced with any questions I had and moving along. And I'm now giving free sessions myself, just with friends, community. I have a yoga studio coming up that they just want me. And it's really just taken off in an area that I had no idea. So thank you, Kyle, for this wonderful journey today. That was amazing. So, and thank you both and the whole community.
Thank you,
God bless.
Susie. Nice to see you today here. Thank you, Susie. And there's another one here. Kyle, this was the most beautiful journey I have done. I think I found my mission of life. Oh my God, that's
Hmm.
powerful. And there's
Hmm.
another people saying like level one is enough. Well, this is the beauty about Summer Breath. You can start with level one. And then once you finish that level, maybe figure it out if you want to continue with advanced training. So it's no mandatory to, buy the whole transformational coach because not everyone wants to be a coach, just maybe an instructor. So that is why it's so important to book a discovery call with sales. Monica, if you can share the link again for the discount for our certification, because the sales people are going to have a conversation with you to try to find out what you really need and what you really what can really Soma can do for you and help you to begin this different life, like if you want to really work with different things and impact people's lives and people's health. So that is my recommendation. Don't get scared to book a discovery call because it's just a conversation. It's just people. We're humans. We are not robots or anything like that. We are here to really support and to contain any of you who wants to become an instructor and hopefully inspire you as well to bring abundance in this work that I think Kyle and I are achieving. We are achieving after years of works and practice, though. So, okay, Kyle, there's anything else you want to say before we go?
I mean, just to kind of reiterate, yeah. So what we just went through was definitely more of an advanced type of breathwork journey. I would not have been able to do that if I was just starting off. It's something you build up to, and it's more what we focus on in level 2 is when we start to focus on our kind of customized way of guiding SOMA breath and bringing our own voice into it. That being said, there's still plenty of material and awesome music in the level 1 that you'll be able to get for just the level 1. So there's just different ways of incorporating this stuff. So I would also say whenever we do something like this, sometimes it can be like very ungrounding, and so it's always good to ground afterwards. And there's many different ways of doing that: moving the body, just putting your feet on the earth outside, but eating and drinking are just kind of the easiest way. Highly recommend drinking warm water, warm liquids, some tea, that little Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine secret. You don't want to be shocking your system with cold water or anything like that. So some warm liquids and some food after this type of experience will be very helpful in coming back into the waking life.
Yes, you very well said. And remember that tomorrow we have another session with Niraj at 11 a.m. New York time. And Niraj is going to be talking more about the advanced training that Kyle showed us today, this Kevala, the neurosomatic training. And it will give you some tips how you can really transform people's life. What I always feel being an instructor is just like level 1 is like more the body is really getting into the science of how you can really help people's health through breath work while I mean, you can offer as well a very holistic, beautiful meditation, but you are working with the physiology and you will learn. You have a very beautiful science class in that level. Like you have to know what is going on in the body when you do that. And advanced training level 2, in my opinion, is when we become magicians, because then is when we work with the subconscious mind and where we, learn tools that we can really talk with the subconscious mind of people, like with colors, with figures, with symbols, with affirmations, and with the music as well, because the music is also a vibration. So it's just like become different levels of how you can help people. But every level has very deep content, a lot of study that I think is another difference between other modalities. Like we really need to know what is going on in the body when we do this. And you will have a lot of people in the community as well, like doctors that will support you and help you to really understand the physiology and the biology behind breath work. So yeah, that's what I think about this. So beautiful people, Kyle, thank you again. We're almost 2 hours together. It was amazing. Thank you for being here today with us. Remember that you will have the replays in your emails. And remember that we have another session tomorrow at 11 New York time. So I hope I see you tomorrow. Thank you, Kyle, again. I have to now. Where are you, Monica? Monica, can you raise your hand so I can give you the host that you become a host?
Thanks
Where
again,
are
everyone,
you?
for
Where are
joining.
you? I think I can find it here. Okay, here you are. Okay, Monica, now you are the host. So goodbye, everyone. Thank you again. Breathe, feel the power. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Oh, namaste,
Bye-bye.
shalom. Take care, everyone.
Namaste. Thank you, Kyle.